Once you've imported plans into BuildingWorks, you can trace over them to build an instant estimate. Please note that you will only be able to take off an estimate from your plans if you have the Estimate module. In this video, I'll show you how to trace over and estimate an imported PDF of an extension. Take a look at the video called How to Import a PDF for help on importing the PDF. Once you've imported your plans, you're ready to get tracing. The Scan and Trace tab contains some handy tools for tracing over your plans. When you import a drawing, BuildingWorks automatically switches on trace mode. You can see that it's switched on as the toggle trace mode button has turned blue. This means when you trace over the imported plans with the architectural tools, the walls, windows, doors and so on that you draw will appear in a bold red pen, so you can clearly see what you're doing. The image is imported onto its own Scan and Trace layer. This means that you can hide and show the original drawing as required using this button here. Placing construction lines on the drawing allows you to quickly and accurately map out the walls. Some people prefer to trace the plans without using construction lines. It's entirely up to you. Take a look at the video called How to Draw Construction Lines if you do want to place construction lines on your drawing. Once they're in place, you're ready to trace the external walls. Let's start by drawing the existing walls, which don't need to be estimated. We do need to draw the existing walls so that we can add the structural opening and tee the new roof into the existing building. Click on the Architectural tab. Click on the External Walls button and select a wall type from the drop-down menu. BuildingWorks comes supplied with a range of external wall types, from traditional masonry walls to timber frame, SIPs and ICF walls. I'm going to select the brick and block cavity walls for this example. The Wall Component Builder pops up. From here you can choose the specification and configuration of your external wall and enter its dimensions. The first screen prompts you to select a specification. Because we want to draw the walls of the original house, which will not be included in the estimate, select the Existing Wall option. As you can see, there's no cost associated with this wall. Once you've clicked Existing Wall, click Next. The next screen prompts you to select a configuration. The ground floor configuration includes foundations and footings, whereas the upper floor configuration naturally doesn't. I'm drawing ground floor walls. Click Next. The final screen of the Wall Component Builder prompts you to enter some dimensions. These dimensions are required to draw the wall accurately. You can press the Tab key on your keyboard to move quickly to the next input box. I'm going to change the wall height to 2325mm. Click on the Height of Wall drop-down box and select the appropriate wall height. Check the leaf and cavity widths are correct, and then click Finish. BuildingWorks is now ready to draw the existing walls. Take a look at the instructions window at the bottom of the screen. The instruction window gives helpful step-by-step prompts on how to draw each item. Make sure you refer to the instructions window each time you're drawing a new element. The instructions prompt you to click to place the start point. Place your cursor over the end of a wall where two construction lines meet. When you hover your cursor over items which have been drawn on screen, you'll find various snap points. Snap points help you to accurately place items. Where two construction lines meet or intersect, you'll find an intersection snap point. The word intersection pops up next to your cursor. Once you've located the intersection snap point, click the left mouse button to place the start of the walls. Don't hold down the left mouse button, just click and release. The red line on the wall highlights which side of the wall you're placing, while the arrow identifies the external side of the wall. You'll notice a set of wall tools appear on the ribbon when you're drawing your walls. From here, you can change the external side of the wall by selecting either right or left from the external side drop-down box. You may notice that the walls are not appearing in quite the right place at the moment. This is because of the justification of the walls. The Justification drop-down box tells BuildingWorks which side of the wall to place with your mouse clicks. In the Justification drop-down box, I'm going to select Right, so that I'm drawing the right side of my walls, thus placing them inside the construction lines. The justification may at first be a little confusing. It depends on the direction you're drawing your walls in, but have a play around with it and you'll soon figure it out. Once the external wall side and justification are correct, you can finish placing your walls. The instructions now prompt you to click to place the next point. Locate the intersection point at the next corner or a perpendicular snap point will do, and then click the left mouse button to place the next point. Continue placing the corners of your walls until you reach the end. Then press the Escape key. Remember, the Escape key cancels the current action, in this case dropping the wall drawing tool. So that's the existing walls done, and you'll notice that the estimate cost is 0, as it should be. Now let's draw the walls we want to estimate, the extension walls. Click on the External Walls drop-down menu once again. Select the relevant wall type. The Wall Component Builder pops up again. Remember, this is where you choose the specification and configuration of your external wall and enter its dimensions. This information is used to draw your wall and build the estimate as you draft your plans. Start by selecting a wall specification. This time we're estimating the walls we're drawing, so we need to choose carefully from the specifications, selecting the appropriate thermal rating, thickness, and rate. Each specification includes real materials and manufacturer product data. If you need to, you can tailor a specification by clicking on the specification and then clicking the Review Specification button. You can swap or edit a rate or resource within the specification, or delete any rates or resources you don't need. You can also add an item to the specification. Once you're happy with the wall specification, click Next to move on to the next page of the Wall Component Builder. Now select Configuration. For this example, I'm going to draw ground floor walls again, which includes foundations and footings as you'd expect. Click Next. The next screen prompts you to select a specification for the foundations. You can review and edit a foundation specification in the same way as the wall specification, but if you're happy with it out of the box, simply select one and click Next. Now you can review the foundation dimensions. If this Next button says Scroll Down, it means there are input boxes you need to review further down the screen. Once you've scrolled down and reviewed all of the dimensions, the next button will reappear. Click Back to go back to the previous screen if you realise you need to make any changes, or click Next to continue to the footing details. This screen prompts you to select a specification for the footings. Select the specification you want to use, review it if necessary using the Review Specification button, or click Next to continue working through the Wall Component Builder. The next screen requires you to select a footing configuration. Of course, it's crucial that you ensure your selected foundation and footing are compatible in terms of construction and dimensions. Select shallow strip or trench fill as required, and then click Next. Now you can review the footing dimensions. If you click into an input box, you can see the handy tech tip at the top of the screen, which explains exactly what dimension is required. Work your way through the footing dimensions, check that the DPC height is correct, and then click Next. Finally, you can tell BuildingWorks about the dimensions of the wall. For a multi-storey wall, enter the height of unfinished wall. In other words, the height of wall which is taken up by the floor above and doesn't require plastering and decoration on the internal side. As this is a single-storey extension, I can leave it set to 0. Now select the wall height from the drop-down box. Alternatively, you can type a wall height into the drop-down box. Once you're happy, click Finish. Now you're ready to trace around the new walls. The instruction window is telling us to click to place the start point. As before, click on any intersection point to begin drawing the walls. Remember to click and release the left mouse button to place the point. Don't hold down the left mouse button, just click and release. Remember, the red line on the wall highlights which side of the wall you're placing, while the arrow identifies the external side of the wall. So it's all correct this time. You can change the justification and external side of the wall though, using the drop-down boxes on the Wall tab. Now the instructions are telling us to click to place the next point. Locate the next intersection point, and click the left mouse button to place the corner of the walls. Continue clicking to place your walls in this way. If the walls you're drawing form a loop, click back onto the first point of your walls to complete the loop and close your walls. If your walls form a horseshoe shape as mine do, press the Escape key once you've placed the final point. You can of course trace over internal walls in the same way. BuildingWorks is building your estimate as you add each element to your drawing. Now we can see the cost of the new brick and block cavity walls. At the moment I'm working in sketch mode, which gives a simplified view of the drawing. To show more detail, including wall hatching and so on, you can switch to detail mode. To do that, go to the Views in 3D tab and click the Sketch Detail Mode button. Now we can see the wall hatching. Once you've drawn a wall, the Extra Items window will come to the fore, showing you some additional items that you might want to add to your estimate. Let's estimate the wall starters. Click the Draw button under Wall Starter to External Wall. The instructions prompt you to place the symbol. Place your cursor where you want to position the wall starter. You might need to zoom in. Once you're happy with the position of the wall starter, click the left mouse button. The instructions now prompt you to select the rotation of the item. If I move my cursor, you can see how we can rotate the symbol. If you hold down the Shift key, you can lock the wall starter to 45 or 90 degree increments, so it's easier to place accurately. Then once you're happy that the orientation of the wall starter is correct, click the left mouse button to finish placing it. Repeat this process to place each wall starter. You can now see the wall cost, including wall starters. Of course, costs are dependent on the material and labour rates in the software. As prices can vary, we suggest that you check the rates to ensure they reflect what you pay. Also, bear in mind that costs reflect the specification and quality of material selected, and also include wastage. Let's add the opening into the existing wall. Of course, we want to estimate the cost of forming the opening in the existing wall, in addition to the materials required. To get started, click on the Openings and Steelwork button on the Architectural tab. You'll find a variety of opening and steelwork options. Click on Structural Openings. The Structural Openings component builder pops up. There's just one screen asking you to enter a few dimensions. Check you're happy with the lintel bearing and the opening height. Then enter the width of the opening. In this case it's 2 meters or 2000 millimeters. Once you're done, click Finish. The instructions prompt you to select the insertion point on the wall. When placing opening doors and windows, it's easier to do so in detail mode, as this mode allows you to see the openings more easily on the original plans. If you're not already in detail mode, go to the Views in 3D tab and click the Sketch Detail Mode button. Using the existing plans as a guide, place your cursor where you want to insert the opening. Once you're happy with its position, click the left mouse button to place the opening. You can place openings more accurately by entering the distance from the end of a wall or other opening, but for the purposes of taking off, this will be accurate enough. A dialog box has popped up, asking you to select the type of opening you're estimating. We want to select the option to form a structural opening in a wall located in an existing building. That's already selected, so let's click Next. The next screen prompts you to select the lintel for the structural opening. Select a lintel from the range of different sizes and weights. Note that BuildingWorks has not performed any engineering calculations, so you'll need to ensure that you select the correct lintel for your job. Once you've selected a lintel, click Next. As this is a cavity wall, you'll need to select a lintel for the second leaf of the wall. Once you've done that, click Next. There's only one specification available, so click Next to select it. You can of course review and edit the spec if you need to. Finally, check you're happy with the lintel bearing. Then click Finish. Now press the Escape key to tell BuildingWorks that you've finished drawing structural openings. So that's the structural opening dealt with. See how the estimate is building each time you add a new element of the build. Adding and estimating the concrete slab takes just a minute or two. To start drawing your slab, click on the Architectural tab and click the Floors button. Select the concrete slabs type from the drop-down menu. The concrete slabs component builder pops up, asking you to select a specification. You can order the specifications by thermal performance, structural thickness, or cost. Just click on the column headers to sort them. I'm going to select the reinforced concrete slab, insulation below slab, high thermal performance specification. Once you've clicked on the spec, click Finish. The instructions tell us to click to place the start point, or alternatively to press the F key to fill a space at the mouse location. This is the quickest way of drawing an area of slab with a perimeter which has already been defined. Simply hover your cursor in the room where you want to draw the slab and then press the F key. So I'm going to hover my cursor over the extension and press the F key on the keyboard. BuildingWorks automatically draws the slab to fill the room. Now you can add sundry items such as perimeter insulation. The extra items window has appeared. If you can't see the extra items window, you may need to click on the area of slab to bring up the options. You'll probably want to add perimeter insulation to your estimate. Click the Draw button under Perimeter Insulation. The instructions tell you to click to place the start point. Find the snap points on the corners of the room. They may be end snap points, which as the name suggests come at the end of a wall, or perpendicular snap points, which are perpendicular to the point you just placed. Either is fine. Click around the corners of the room, and once you're done, press the Escape key to finish drawing the insulation. On the Extra Items tab, you can also enter the number of days that a concrete pump is required. So that's the materials, labour and plant required for the concrete slab, all accounted for in the estimate. It's as simple as that. Okay, so let's add the French doors. On the Architecturals tab, click on the Doors drop-down menu. Select a type of door. I'm going to select the PVC-U French doors. The Doors component builder pops up. The first screen prompts you to select a door from the onboard library. You can sort the doors using a variety of filters, such as manufacturer, size, or thermal rating. I'm going to filter the doors by width and select a French door with a 2090mm width. I'm also going to filter the doors to show white doors. Scroll down the doors, click on a door to select it, and then click Next. The next screen asks you to check the external reveal depth. Once you're happy with this dimension, click Finish. As with the opening, the instructions ask you to select an insertion point on the wall. I'm going to zoom in on the side wall of the extension by placing my cursor there and scrolling the mouse wheel towards the screen. As with the structural opening, I'm happy to use the original plan as a guide to place the door by eye. Click the left mouse button to place the door. The instructions now ask you to select the door alignment. Click the left mouse button again. For some doors you'll need to indicate the hinge side and direction of opening. In this case, it's determined by the door you selected. BuildingWorks automatically locates a range of lintels which may be suitable for your wall type, thickness and opening width. BuildingWorks is using this data to produce the estimate. Click on the lintel you want and click Next. Finally, the component builder prompts you to select a specification. You can review any specification if you need, clicking the Review Specification button, or click Finish once you've selected a specification. If you've finished placing doors of this specification, press the Escape key on your keyboard to drop the door insertion tool. Now we can see the cost of the job, including French doors. You can draw and estimate windows in exactly the same way. Now let's add the roof. The roof of this extension is a simple apex roof. Find the Roofs drop-down menu and select the roof type you want from those available, including cut, truss, SIPs and flat roofs. I'm going to use the cold cut roof. The roof component builder pops up. From here you choose the specification and type or shape of roof and enter its dimensions. Start by choosing a specification which suits your job. I'm going to select the tiled cut cold roof with a high thermal performance. Let's take a quick look at this specification by clicking Review Specification. At the moment, plain tiles are specified. Due to the pitch of my roof, I need to swap them for pan tiles. If I click the Swap button next to the tile assembly, I can select an alternative assembly. A dialog box pops up explaining that changing an assembly within the specification will change it across this estimating calculator. What this means is that if you change the tile assembly for this roof specification, the tile assembly will also change in any other roofs you've estimated or go on to estimate using this specification in this job. Click OK. The Swap Assembly dialog box pops up. Take a look at the alternative tile assemblies and click on the one you want to use. Then click Select. You'll see that the roof specification has been updated and the estimate is now based on double Roman interlocking concrete tiles. Once you're happy with the specification, click Next. The next screen prompts you to select a type of roof. Click on a roof image or the radio button on the left to select a roof type. Apex roof is already selected, so I can click Next. The next screen prompts you to enter the dimensions of the roof. I'm going to enter a pitch of 30 degrees. If I overtype side 1, side 2 is automatically updated. Scroll down the window, reviewing the other details as necessary. Ignore the valley options as they're not relevant in this case. Once you're done, click Finish. BuildingWorks is now ready to draw the roof. There are 5 simple steps to draw an apex roof which abuts a wall. Don't forget to follow the on-screen instructions to guide you through the process. The first instruction tells you to click on any wall that the roof is on. BuildingWorks will take the wall plate height from this wall, so it doesn't really matter which wall you click on. I'm going to click on the back wall of the extension. The next instruction tells you to click on the first corner to indicate the width of the building. In the case of an apex roof, the width of the building means the gable end of the roof. I'm going to click on the left corner of the gable end. The next instruction tells you to click on the second corner to indicate the width of the building. I'm now going to click on the right end of the gable. The next instruction tells you to click on the opposite corner to indicate the length of the building, or press the T key to join an existing wall or roof. As this roof is adjoining a wall, I need to press the T key on my keyboard. Finally, the instructions prompt you to select the wall or roof line to tee into. Click onto the existing wall which the roof abuts. After a moment, the roof lines will appear on the drawing and the estimate cost will be updated. Once you've drawn your roof, the extra items window will pop up, showing you all the extra items you can add to the roof. Let's draw and estimate the plastered ceiling. Click the Draw button under the roof joists fixed at 400mm centres with insulated ceiling. The instruction prompts you to draw the ceiling or press the F key to fill. You can draw the ceiling in exactly the same way as you drew the slab using the F key. Simply place your cursor in the room where you want to draw the ceiling, then press the F key on your keyboard. BuildingWorks automatically draws and estimates the ceiling. You can also add bracing, purlins, binders, rainwater goods and so on. For help on doing this, take a look at the videos on drawing roofs. Let's take a look at the cost of the estimate, including the roof and ceiling. You can continue adding staircases, plumbing and heating, electrics, kitchens, bathrooms and drainage to your plans, building your estimate as you go along. Now let's take a look at the impressive 3D model BuildingWorks has created directly from your plans. You can use the 3D model as a visual checklist to ensure you haven't missed anything from your estimate. If the 3D model is already available on the screen, click on the tab to view it. If it's not currently on screen, launch the 3D model window by going to the Views and 3D tab and clicking the 3D model button. You can rotate the model to view it from a different perspective by placing your cursor over the model and holding down the left mouse button. Click the Home button to reset the 3D model at its original view at any time. When working on an extension or any property with existing and new elements, you may want to view only the new part of the building. To do this, click Visibility on the 3D model toolbar and untick Show Existing Components. This will hide the existing part of the building. Of course, if you want to, you can draw the entire existing property if you want to use the 3D model to show your client, or if you need more drawing detail for planning and regs, etc. Now, if you want, you can move to the Estimate module and take a look at the estimate in more detail. Over to you. To trace over plans you've imported, ensure Trace Mode is switched on the Scan and Trace tab. When in Trace Mode, any architectural items you draw will appear in bold red pen so you can clearly see them over the original drawing. Use the building elements on the Architectural tab to trace over the plans. Don't forget, when you're drawing existing walls, to select the existing wall specification in the Wall Component Builder. Once you're done, take a look at the 3D model to check you haven't missed anything from your drawing. Then you can review the estimate if you have the estimate module.